I know. London, parks, same sentence? What? Minasan, konnichiwa, squishy toke, yokoso. Today's video, I'm going to be telling you about some of the things you should do if you visit the UK. Before we get into this, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like videos like this one. And let's begin. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to mention, go to the pub. If you come to the UK and you're not visiting a pub, what are you doing? It is the perfect representation of British culture, in my opinion. Everybody loves the pub. I don't want to say that there's a bad pub and a good pub. Pubs in London are just famous for being more expensive. I think that's just a fact. They also try and be a bit more than a pub as well. Sometimes they try to market themselves as a bit of a restaurant. It's fine, it doesn't matter. If you go to any pub, you're gonna get, you know, the perfect amount of British culture. But yeah, I think pubs outside of London are gonna be cheaper, more family orientated maybe. But yeah, just go to a pub, any pub. I promise you it'll be worth it. Enjoy and thank me later. All right, number 2, go to a football game. All right, this is a little bit complicated because obviously they have season tickets for people that are huge football fans, but if you can and you like football, I recommend it. Watching football on TV is one thing, but going and seeing it in person is a completely different experience. Definitely a lot of fun, you definitely won't forget it, and yeah, it'll be in your memories forever. I will say you don't have to go and see like a Premier League football game. You can go and see like a League 1 or League 2 game and you will still get that feeling, that excitement and that enjoyment, and the tickets for that will be much cheaper and still definitely worth it. All right, number 3, visit the countryside. Obviously, when most people visit the UK, they go to London, just like when most people visit Japan for the first time, they go to Tokyo. It makes sense why you want to visit the capital city. There's more to do and more to see, but you must visit the countryside if you have a chance. I recommend Dorset. Devon is great too. If you don't have a lot of time, Kent is very close to London. The countryside is just lovely. I mean, you've probably seen pictures. We have fields, flowers, nature, forests, beaches. I mean, we call it the seaside, not really beaches, because a beach would imply that you can sit there and enjoy the sun, but there's not that much sun in the UK. So yeah, the seaside. But yeah, definitely recommend you visit the countryside. London is great, but the countryside is also wonderful as well. All right, so number 4, London parks. I know, London parks, same sentence, what? But no, we have some fantastic parks in London. We actually have quite a bit of greenery for a big city. So there is Hyde Park, which is probably the most famous. Linking to Hyde Park, we have Kensington Gardens, and there's Kensington Palace there as well. It's beautiful, really. A lot of green space. There's also flower areas, waterfalls as well. It's gorgeous. We also have Richmond Park, which has deer. A lot of deer. Yeah, in the middle of London, in a park, there is a lot of deer. I know, it's crazy. It shouldn't work, but it does. So yeah, I definitely recommend some of those parks. Oh, also Holland Park. Loads and loads of flowers and peacocks. Literally everywhere. They're kind of terrifying, but they're there. And my dog tried to chase one once and that was a mistake for him. He learned that the hard way. But yeah. All right, so the next thing I would suggest is to admire the architecture. So European architecture is pretty magnificent and we have a lot of it in London. London is a really, really, really old city and we have a lot of old buildings there. I recommend taking a look at some of the churches. They are beautiful, really beautiful, and you can see them in all kinds of unexpected places. Even right in the heart of the city, there are some gorgeous old buildings. So definitely I recommend that you keep an eye out for those. All right, this next one, for any city, I would recommend this, but especially London. I would recommend that you visit some of the museums and art galleries. So actually we have an area of London, South Kensington, and within that area we have the Science Museum, the Natural History Museum, the Victoria and Albert Museum, and a few others dotted around there. We also have some great galleries as well, but I prefer museums. It just depends what you're into, but definitely check some of those out. And actually the architecture of the Natural History Museum is incredible. I took Taro there, he loved it. It was pretty busy though, so I would avoid going on weekends if possible. Right, finally, I'm going to tell you a secret, and that is my favourite place in London. That is the South Bank. So this area is literally right on the River Thames. You all know the River Thames, I am sure. I love this area because there is so much to see here. You have the Tate Modern Museum, you have Shakespeare's Globe, and just, it's a really nice area. The London Eye is there as well. I actually recommend to visit this place at night. So, a lot of these attractions aren't open, but I recommend it for the view. Walking along the South Bank at night and looking at all the lit up buildings, I recommend it. It's wonderful. But it can be a bit cold depending on what time of the year you're going. If you're going in like December, January or February, yeah, maybe don't go there at night. It is freezing. Would not recommend, but yeah, it's one of my favourite places in London. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this list. I hope it gave you some inspiration about what you should do if you plan on visiting London. Yeah, if you like videos like this one, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.